Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are gonna put on a decal on this guitar. Now I usually don't put a decal on a guitar that I haven't actually made unless I'm putting on something funny and weird, like the one I did, you know, the gibberish guitar. If you're that old of a subscriber and you know, well, if you subscribed back then when I made that guitar, you know the whole context. And I don't know, you can tell me in the comments below. You probably know the context anyway, because it's a really famous thing that Gibson did that led to me making the gibberish guitar. But my sister recently redesigned my logo for my guitars, and she is the one to have done all the other logos that my guitars have ever had. And sometimes she's like, it's time for, you know, a new one, redesign it, redefine it, make it better, make it look, you know, more something. And she did it again, and this time she actually made it into a decal. And so I was thinking, I need to try it out, I need to test it, I need to put it on something. And I don't know what to put it on, so I was thinking I'd put it on this guitar right here. I feel like it's okay, because I've done so much to this guitar that it's not really hardly bent on anymore. And I don't know, I mean, it's not like it's, you know, becoming more valuable or I'm tricking anyone, you know. It would be a different thing if I put on a Fender one. And I've seen videos of people doing that, and shame on you. Anyway, so what you need to be able to do this is obviously a guitar that you want to put a logo on, and you need a printout on special kind of paper that is called decal paper or transfer paper, and you get that in your local arts and crafts store, or you can buy it online, you know, Amazon or eBay or something like that. Most of them come for laser printer, so you need to have a laser printer. You could also on some websites design them and print them and have them shipped to you in arcs, and you get a bunch of the logo. It's a good thing to do if you want something a little bit more fancy. I'm going with just black, but if you want something like gold or glitter or something like that, you're gonna have to look up a website where you can do that. I don't have any website to recommend, so there won't be any links in the description. I don't build enough guitars where doing something like that would be justifiable to me, at least. So yeah, let's jump into this. The only other thing you're gonna need than this and a guitar is you're gonna need a little bit of steel wool to scuffen up the area where you want to put it, but be careful so you don't scuff up too much. And you're also going to need a bowl of lukewarm water. Not too warm, but try to make it like... yeah. You know what lukewarm water is. Why am I trying to explain that to you? Okay, so first off, you have to sort of figure out where you want to place the logo. And obviously, if you are, you know, doing something very special where you need to actually be very careful of where you put it, this could take some time, but I'm not really like that. I'm just, you know, I'm doing some sort of eyeballing most of the time, and then I'm just trying to put it out basically somewhere where I feel like it's gonna be roughly okay. When you cut these out, which is something I probably should have said something about, try to make sure that you're not leaving any rough edges so that you're cutting a smooth line all around. These pieces don't need to go on very good. They're just there to help you out, basically. Something like that. I think that's gonna be good. Okay, so here's a Moomin bowl with lukewarm water. Now you don't necessarily need to use a Moomin bowl, but I would say that it makes everything go a little bit easier and better. And if you don't know what Moomin is, you need to start reading. And we just put it in, and we make sure it gets wet all over, and then we just leave it for a couple of minutes to soak up. And letting the layers, because it's basically a plastic film and a backing paper, and we're just we're leaving it there to soak up. And it's gonna take a couple of minutes, and while it's soaking up, I'm using some steel wool and I'm just scuffing up this area where I know that the print is gonna go. You don't need to do that much scuffing, but something like that. And then we just dab on with our fingers a tiny bit of water, and then we can gently pick up the logo, and you can see how the paper and the logo is separating and it's sliding off, and so we're just gonna slide it on press it out with our fingers as gently as we can to make sure all the air bubbles disappear and that it lies as flat as we possibly can make it. Something like that. It's a little bit out of frame, sorry. That looks pretty good, I think. Then we take a piece of paper and we fold it into a little paper tool, and we can just press gently, very gently, on the decal in all directions to try to smooth everything out. Just get everything to be neat. And we can take away the tape and just trying to dab like this to remove all the water. And I have a little bit of an issue right there. Gonna see if I can press this paper there to make it a little bit better. And I screwed everything up. God damn it. Yeah, something like that. And it's really simple. This is probably the easiest way to get a logo on. I have shown you in other videos how to do some Mod Podge logos, and I've also shown you how to do a logo with burning in your logo. Those methods are really good and they work, and especially if you have like a stencil for burning, which at some point I'm going to show you how to make one of those. But this is definitely the easiest, cleanest, probably also the best way to do it. Obviously it depends on what you mean with best, but I mean, this looks like it's this looks good. This looks like it might be a real guitar. I mean, it is obviously a real guitar, but I mean a professional guitar you could buy in a store. Now we're just gonna leave this to dry a little bit and apply a very thin amount of lacquer. And I'm gonna hand rub it, so just hold on for a second, I'll be back. Here I have a tiny little bit of cloth, because I don't want anything to stick to this. If you use paper, it will become a mess. Now I'm just gonna put tiny bit of lacquer over this to protect it. And you, obviously, if you're making this while you're building the guitar, you would use spray lacquer, but since I'm doing this sort of as a recon thing, I'm just gonna put it on with this and just smear it out and get a neat, nice little protective. And you want to put on a couple of layers if you're doing this the correct way. If you're, building a neck and you're making it perfect, and then you're putting this on and then you're clear coating. So you have like at least, let's say, 3 layers or something. I'm just gonna leave it like this and have this super tiny amount because it's relic and I don't want to mess with that too much. I should have done this before I reliced the neck, but that's not possible for me at this moment. Okay, so here is the guitar right now and the headstock, and I think that looks nice. I like it. I hope this super tiny video, what the hell am I saying? I hope this short video is of any use to you and that it inspires you. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a like and check out all the other videos in this build series. They are a lot of fun. And if you're new here, don't forget to press the subscribe button. I know you don't forget that. You either decide to do it or not, but you could decide that today is the day. Sorry, I have nothing. It's the end of this video and I'm going to try to not ramble anymore. Thanks so much for watching anyway. And don't forget to stay awesome and cool, because that's something people can actually forget to do. And it's a shame. Go and try out making a logo just like this one and see what happens. And yeah. Bye-bye.